Hey everyone, welcome back to the One2Many podcast.
Where we've got one too many opinions, one too many voices, and I think I just did it backwards. We've got one too many voices, one too many opinions, and just enough Odyssey.
Hold on, I think we can do better than that.
We've got one too many voices, one too many opinions, and just enough man. I'm just a man. The Odyssey is out.
Yeah.
A little bit of a break in our normal programming of our normal plans right now because unless you've been living under a rock, July 2026 is kind of a big month for movies.
Yeah, man.
The Odyssey, if you've seen the title and click the thumbnail, The Odyssey is out, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Spider-Man.
It's Tom Holland summer.
Spider-Man is in like 2 weeks. Barely less than 2 weeks.
Bro's gonna put up like $1 billion at the box office in a 2 week span.
Yeah, it's
Tom
crazy.
Holland's him.
Having a big summer. This is not falling on a normal Wednesday, obviously. This might hit like Friday, Saturday-ish, bit of a like emergency-ish episode because we had to pivot from the Marvel MCU run we're doing through because, I mean, who's not going to talk about the Odyssey right now? It's the hot thing.
It's huge, and then beyond that, you know, with all the other stuff we've got going on, we're just we wanted to make sure we could squeeze this in at a good time. And this is better.
We'll talk about it while it's like freshly out. He just saw it yesterday. I saw it, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days ago now.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Yeah. I mean, look, I read a modernized version of the Iliad and the Odyssey when I was in high school. I really like Greek myth. I love the Odyssey. I did not know about Epic the Musical until Bryce found Epic the Musical through TikTok edits.
And I found Epic the Musical...
And that was your first
exposure. The Cersei bit, I found Done For from Epic the Musical that I used for an edit of me and Shelby's D&D character.
I saw that.
And then we just kept delving deeper into like, damn, what is this Epic thing?
Yeah, and that was your first experience with the Odyssey. Now for me, I knew all about the Odyssey already, and so Epic was just like another like, wow, this is a great interpretation of the Odyssey. This is a fantastic retelling of this. And we'll talk more about Epic later, but we got into that, I think, at the beginning of this year or late last year. I can't really remember, but
it happened very quickly because like I got into those couple songs on Epic, and then very quickly it spiraled into Shelby and I listening to a lot of it. And then I brought you into a few tracks, and then when we went and took a U-Haul 6 hours away to go pick up Shelby and get her moved here, we listened to the whole thing on the way back, which took like 1/3 of the trip back because it was a long
drive. But yeah, it was awesome, and we love it. We love Epic. We love the Odyssey. And when the trailer for this movie released, it was interesting because we had just kind of come off of enjoying that. We're like, what? An Odyssey movie right after we got into Epic the Musical. Fantastic.
Directed by Christopher Nolan, known for big bangers like with The Dark Knight, Oppenheimer, Interstellar.
That's like one of my favorite movies. So, I mean, there's just one of those things where I was really highly confident that this was going to be a great movie. The internet would have you believe it's dog shit.
People were saying on Twitter, like a couple days before it came out, it's like, look, the newest trailer for the Odyssey has got record dislike ratios on YouTube. I'm like, who the fuck's doing that?
My favorite thing ever is like seeing these people on the internet like bash Christopher Nolan for like, ooh, costume design is so bad and this is so wild. Like it's supposed to be ancient Greece. Look at the cat. All these things.
You weren't there. I weren't there. Who give a fuck?
Also, and like beyond all that, Christopher Nolan is the number one guy in trying to, create these larger-than-life moments in a real and tactile way, who's not using CGI, who's not using AI, who is genuinely employing more actors than any other director, literally had thousands of dudes on set just to storm the gates of Troy, and it's like, bro, you can say whatever you want and just not like the movie, but to sit here and be like a stick in the mud and like have something up your ass about costume design when Agamemnon looks fucking sick. All right, I don't give a shit.
Agamemnon, the great Orifier.
We're talking about guys that fucking fight a cyclops, fight giants, go against a witch, have trouble with the gods, and you're over here like, that fucking armor that is not realism, man. I can't do that.
When the gates of Troy opened, I saw a fucking boss meter above his head, brother.
Yeah.
That was legendary.
I love people, like, I just love watching people, like, be such hypocrites with their suspension of disbelief, because it's like, oh, I can totally believe in a fucking Cyclops. Like, the Cyclops, yeah, that makes sense. You know, oh, yeah, that's exactly what a fucking Cyclops would look like. Makes sense. Agamemnon wearing some fucking aura armor. Holy shit, Christopher Nolan doesn't care about historical accuracy.
I saw some people saying that the Cyclops in the Odyssey kind of just looks like from Smiling Friends, the episode with Mr. Frog's dad.
Yeah.
With that old dude painted green. He kind of looks like that guy a little bit.
I don't know why. This is just me. This is like totally random what it reminded me of. And it was just for a moment when he was laying sideways. I thought of Saucy from Gumball. Oh, yeah. Which is that character where it's just like the upside down person with the googly eyes on their chin. Yeah, literally. Yeah. That, but with the fucking Cyclops' scream would go crazy.
Dude. Man. I mean, among all the things people talk about with this movie, one thing I'm not seeing talked about enough is I did not know until the Cyclops scene that Christopher Nolan has a hearing problem. Because he sure fucking has to, because that was the loudest noise I have heard in my entire life. And he sat there and was like, turn it up.
Can we get that a little louder, please?
Can I get that a little bit louder? It was in this moment, which like, I've been through Epic the Musical now, and I've seen the Cyclops, play out through 100 different people's animations of it. Never, when I was watching those, did I feel fear. Which is something that you should feel with the Cyclops scene like that. And boy, did I ever get scared when he made that noise. That snapped me back real quick to being like, oh, fuck. Yeah. This is a serious, like, we're in danger. And that is the most horrific fantasy scream howl I've ever heard.
And we'll get into this more later, and we're going to hit on some of our finer details. Honestly, some of the sounds sometime was actually my biggest detractor for the movie, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But to start off with, I think it's important just off the top. I think we need to rank this movie, just talk about like how we feel it actually like scores. I'm gonna go first. I personally would put this at like a 9 out of 10. I think this movie is as close to a perfect interpretation of the Odyssey on the big screen as you can really ask for. Like, visually, it's stunning. The actors are phenomenal. You couldn't get a better director. You couldn't ask for better, like, effects and actual
I didn't have a single qualm with a single person's acting anywhere in this movie.
Everyone
acted their ass off top to bottom.
I never thought there was a weird moment for anybody. And I gotta say, the only thing that keeps it from being a 10 for me, and I don't really want to get too much into like the things that I think are like negatives yet, but the only thing that keeps it from being an absolute 10, like a perfect masterpiece, is I love the music, right? And I love the sound design, and like I love some of those moments, but genuinely impossible to hear dialogue sometimes, at least for me in my experience in the theater. This could be better in a home viewing experience. Could have just been my theater, could have been, but at least from how I got to perceive that movie, there were definitely lines of dialogue that were quiet, that were covered up by other things. I think the scene in the temple in Pylos, there was a line I just straight up missed as they were shuffling through some of the people, because I just couldn't hear. Like, the shuffling of the people was too loud. And it's just like, I like the idea of, keeping that volume kind of not high, but always keeping it like there's stuff going on, right? Like, there's an audible world around these characters.
There are times where it feels almost purposeful in scenes like with the storm.
Then that's definitely
or when they're like blasting through Troy, because sometimes like when they're going through Troy,
it's definitely
it's murder, it's killing. People are screaming so loud that like at one point, like, Shelby covers her ears. I'm like, this is like a terrible loud thing happening, but at the same time, it shouldn't be displeasurable on my ears to view it.
No.
I shouldn't. It'd be different if I was getting like a 4D experience where the seats spraying water on me during the storm.
And I understand the audio being that high. like when you're, designing it, because it's like I intentionally don't want them to hear this dialogue. I want it to be hard to hear, but it's like, okay, bring everything down just a notch so it's not an uncomfortable viewing experience. There were some moments that were genuinely just a little bit too loud, I think. But again, I think there was also just some genuine moments where I was like, I don't know that I'm not supposed to hear this line of dialogue. I feel like I'm supposed to. I'm just having trouble hearing it. And that's, it is what it is. Like, that's not a deal breaker for me. And then, again, really the only things that, like, I would say are kind of a detractor from, like, a perfect score or a 10 out of 10, which is, like, to me, kind of unobtainable. Like, it's going to have to be something that's massive for me. Like, a 9.5 is probably the highest score I would give anything in recency in my mind. And the only, like, I can't remember if we did a scale 1 to 10 ranking for Project Hail Mary, but Project Hail Mary for me would be like a 9.5, not a 10, but a 9.5, because even that movie is just like, I don't have a detractor like the sound design with the Odyssey. So, probably about there for me, ranking it kind of in my 2026, I actually do like Project Hail Mary more still. Like, if you haven't seen Project Hail Mary, but you're seeing all the discourse about the Odyssey, by the time the Odyssey leaves theaters, I think Project Hail Mary is going to have done, like, maybe not even a 4th or 5th or a 10th, like, it's two totally different levels of budget, levels of everything, right? Like, I think there's probably more money spent on a couple of the actors in the Odyssey than all of the actors present in Project Hail Mary. Not to say that Ryan Gosling's not like that, but, like, gosh, dude.
They did have to get Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, the Odyssey has Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon, Tom Holland. Just in those three, we're like, holy shit, that's some budget, right? And then you got John Barenthal. Like, that's some more money. Just go ahead and shell out some more money. And it's just actors on actors on actors. A couple actors from The Walking Dead you mentioned that you really
Several actors from The Walking Dead are in there.
That's
which
crazy.
is just funny how much they pop up in Marvel movies and these ones and everything. I love to see it because I just like to see them do well.
Yeah. I mean, it was great, and I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got to go see it. If you want to hit kind of your ranking, go ahead.
Yeah, I with Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey am probably between an 8.5 and a 9, leaning heavily in a 9. Yeah. Because I'm just so high on the Odyssey this year, because of Epic the Musical coming around and being my introduction to it.
Where do you think you would have ranked it had you seen this? I know it's hard to think about this hypothetically, but I was thinking about this. Like, do you think you would have been as excited for this movie if you hadn't? Yeah, no way, right? Like,
I wouldn't have gone to see the movie.
I don't think you would have cared. Like, if you hadn't watched Epic, because I don't think it would have been anything you even had interest in. Because again, you didn't even know about it.
Not on my radar.
I definitely would have still gone to see the movie, but I'm very high on, like,
it just would be so not on my radar because, like, Greek mythology just it never connected with me.
You'd be seeing stuff
like I
on
said, I did like
scrolling.
one school project on Greek mythology where they assigned me Oedipus as the guy I had to do my report on. I was like, okay, Greek, I'm done.
Tough. But yeah, like you're saying, it just wasn't really your thing at the time, which is, awesome. And that's cool that Epic could get you into that. But with this movie, I was thinking about that and I was like, where would I rank it if I hadn't been so high on the Odyssey and so anticipating it because we just came off Epic? It's hard to say, but
my excitement was just so there though, because I'm so fresh on the story still and everything, and I was just excited to see so much adapted, like Scylla and the Cyclops, and above all, the scene back in Ithaca, because I just love whenever Odysseus goes in there and rips the motherfuckers a new one.
Yep, that was dope.
So Project Hail Mary, I think Project Hail Mary is still my movie of the year.
Same.
Right now. Yeah. Which I had a moment of crisis when I realized that this movie and Project Hail Mary are both 2026, because I was like, fuck, one has to be better than the other. It really just comes down to Project Hail Mary came so out of nowhere for me. The word of mouth carried that movie so hard, and I went to see that movie. Only 2 movies in all of my viewing experience, or what's the way to phrase this? Only 2 movies ever in theaters have I gone to see more than once.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see Into the Spider-Verse 3 times in theaters because it was a next level movie. I went to see Project Hail Mary twice in theaters because I was just that into it. It had me that captivated. Yeah. I may be one to go see Odyssey again if IMAX. Going to see like another person or see it in IMAX comes up. But I don't know, just as far as an original story, Project Hail Mary just knocked it out of the park for me, and I think, especially if it was not for Epic the Musical getting my hype up for the prospect in the first place, I wouldn't have gone to see the Odyssey.
Yeah,
and so I feel it's still probably going to be on top of my list from like a production standpoint. I mean, like, you can't argue anything against the Odyssey. Like, the way this was all made, especially like almost 100% practical. Yeah, like for as much as they did practical effects with Cersei and the rest of them, it's like, dude, it's crazy.
I wonder how they did it with Scylla.
I don't know. That one, I mean, there's probably some amount of CGI, but then I've also heard people say, like, no, this movie doesn't have CGI, but I have no idea. As far as
I'd have to look into it.
No idea.
But, yeah, I mean, just gauging against Project Hail Mary, I guess the only thing that, again, to kind of glaze Project Hail Mary is, like, the only reason I went to see that is just because you said you liked it, and you really wanted me to go see it, so I went to see it. And it's one of those things where I think I was so blown away because I went in with no expectations that I was really captured by, like, I mean, there is specifically one scene when I think of that movie where it was like a rapture level experience of like, wow, this is gorgeous. This is like
the fishing scene.
Yeah, the fishing scene, bro, with the red dot. Like, it was beautiful. And then the second one, I mean, there is another scene in there that really gets me, and it's when she sings and Sign of the Times. Yeah, that was. I mean, there's like, that movie did make me cry. Like, that movie literally had me bawling in the club, dude. Like, I shed tears just because I was hit by her singing that, and then when he started fucking rotating over, I was like, bro. During the fishing scene, I was like, and again, I don't think there's any. I love Christopher Nolan's approach to like wanting to stay practical, and I love all that. The reason that CGI exists is because there is a certain level of visual effect that is not capturable in a practical way. You can't shoot Ryan Gosling into space, guys. Maybe a little out of budget, and also would be a little fucked up. So, you know, that is just an example of like, I don't know how you would not CGI that. And I think both are cool. Both have their place. I really respect what Christopher Nolan is trying to do with like the practical effects, and like, especially with employing actors to do those heavy crowd work scenes. Like, that's cool to me, instead of just, you know, like dumping in just like models of, you know, like characters. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Project Hail Mary, visually just gorgeous. Again, visually, I just don't, I don't really have too much of a preference. I think what Christopher Nolan does is cool. I don't remember the director's name for Project Hail Mary. I wish I did it off the top of my head, but they also did a fantastic job with that. So shout them out.
When it comes to how I'm ranking my Project Hail Mary and where it is kind of up there over the Odyssey for me, is mainly just because of that expectations bit. Yeah. I go into Project Hail Mary knowing nothing but people say this is a good movie, and instead I get a movie that fucking blows my socks off. Yeah. The Odyssey, I come in with a lot of expectations because
I was like, this movie better be at least.
Yeah, this movie has to be
like, this knocked out of the park.
And instead, what I get is some things that, like, while we can compare apples to oranges with like liberties that Epic the Musical will take over the original story, there's things that are part of the original story that don't make it into the Odyssey that bother me a little bit, like little negs with not having the nobody scene with the Cyclops, you know?
You know what's interesting to think about? If you never watched Epic, you may never go see the Odyssey, right? Mm-hmm. But if you never watched Epic, would you have rated the Odyssey higher because you wouldn't be comparing it to Epic, right? I don't know, because here's the thing, right? Is I think for you, there's probably a couple of really big things in my mind. Like, I know you like Odysseus more in Epic the Musical.
1,000%.
And I feel the same way. And this is where I'm okay to kind of start shifting the conversation to like specifically like things in the movie, in Epic, just about the Odyssey. Like, Odysseus in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is very much so our hero, the protagonist. And at no point does he ever really walk so far back as to sacrifice his crew to get home. Because the whole thing of the movie is that he's not willing to compromise on that. Now, will he sacrifice a few to save the many? Yes. But that's totally different from what we get in Epic the Musical, where he sacrifices all of them to get home. Now, granted, they did stage the full mutiny.
But Captain will die. I know. It's like, I have to see her.
Just a man.
Remember when you opened that bag of wind?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. No, we were this close. We were this close, Eurylicus.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like...
And again, we do away with the bag of wins in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's just...
There's some stuff
that... things that are missing that it's just like, well, also, because I have to compare it to some kind of source material. Whether that source material is the original, or whether, for me, my source material is Epic the Musical, there are things in common there, like the Nobody scene and the bag of wins. That's just like... I can't believe we go around this, and I understand some of it's maybe for the sake of time. Well, but like, I would just cut the Giants portion out, because that, for me, didn't serve any purpose besides just getting 2 of our boats taken out, which I think we could have done with something else.
Well, and here's the thing, of course, is like what Nolan chose to adapt from the actual book, or from the Odyssey, to the movie versus like what Epic chose to adapt. I mean... Not only do they choose to adapt a few different things, Epic takes it a step further and really twisting like some of what's present there. I mean, Odyssey does as well, but one thing, in just working our way kind of through the movie, like one thing that I think Nolan's Odyssey definitely has over the interpretation of like Epic is that we really get a fantastic explanation for why Odysseus even is going to fight in the Trojan War, right? Yeah. Why
he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, right.
But and Agamemnon said, "I'm going."
Yeah, and all of that's really important motivation for why, right? You don't get that in Epic the Musical. I think there are things that you get out of this movie that are fantastic in the way that like there is. I like the moral quandary presented in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey more than I like the one in Epic, because in Epic, what really ends up being kind of the theme throughout is that it's about like showing mercy, right? Versus doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. And it repeats several times throughout Epic. And this is what kind of leads Odysseus down a path of blood and sacrificing his men and then finally making it home, of course. But he realizes that if he wants to make it home, like he's going to have to be ruthless. Right? That's just what he'll have to do to make it. And then in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, I think the moral quandary more so comes into like, it's just as important how you do things as doing them to begin with. Right? And in that, like, winning the Trojan War was not a problem to the gods. Like, if they could fight and win the Trojan War, like, I don't think Athena has any problem with them taking Troy in the right way. It's how Odysseus takes Troy. Breaking Zeus's law. Sending men into the world of man into a spiral that was going to undo civilization and undo the civilized life that they had under Zeus's law, which is, you know, essentially just like, hey guys, like when you have someone come into your home, treat them right, you know? It's really like almost golden rule stuff where it's like, gotta treat people the way you want to be treated, dog. But it's really important in the terms that they're in a time where savagery could run amok. And if they don't hold themselves to some sort of moral standard, nobody will. And so...
And then you quickly become monsters.
Yeah.
That people will spread word of.
You are the
people from the sea.
You become the thing that you don't want to be.
Which is such a like, I almost said, epic.
So
it's such an epic twist.
But,
you know, kind of whenever he's there talking to Penelope and it's like we're the people from the sea. You know?
Yeah, and I think Nolan's Odyssey does have a better theme. Like, that in of itself is more interesting to me than just like, oh, like, hey, you know, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Like, I do like the theme throughout Epic, and it's cool because it also explains why, like, you know, Odysseus does become that way.
Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey builds from the beginning of the movie to arrive at the end where Odysseus has to deal with that realization that, like, this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
What we did was fucked up. Versus in Epic, you kind of have that at the start with the horse and the infant.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of in that scene where he's talking about, like, oh, am I a monster for this? Like,
yes.
My monster, like, this child is no older than my son when I left for war.
Yeah.
It's like, I see you and I see my son. So he, like, that kind of happens in reverse, where you have that lesson he learns there, which I guess when you think about it, Odysseus did learn that lesson while he was in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, but we're brought that in I guess in full by the end of the movie.
The big dividing thing between their characters is that Nolan's Odysseus at the end of that movie is trying to pay penance for the things he's done. He's like, how I did things, the way I did things, that's the problem, right? And he recognizes that breaking Zeus's law was wrong. And in defying the reason that the gods were so explicit about, like, the reason you can't defy us is because what we're doing is there to protect man. In my interpretation, like, what I'm understanding from how no one's portraying the gods and Zeus's law is that it's there to protect the mortals and to protect civilization, right? Zeus's law is all that keeps people from just going into someone's castle and ripping it to shreds. Zeus's law is the only reason the suitors didn't take over Ithaca and do horrible things to Penelope and Telemachus, right? Like, they were just, without the fear of the gods, those things will happen, right? And so with Odysseus and Nolan's interpretation versus Odysseus and Epic, like, Odysseus in Epic becomes the monster that he knows himself to be, but he finds peace in the fact that, like, he did what he had to do to get home, right? And that's just the way it is. And then with Nolan's interpretation, I would say that these two characters are so dissimilar in the idea that one of them would rather have not made it home if he had to have sacrificed his crew. Like, I don't think Nolan's Odysseus, if he had to choose to sacrifice his whole crew, would have done it to get home.
I think there's a bit in there in the movie
where he literally says, I don't, like, that's why he spends so long on Calypso's Island, is because he's mentally defeated, right? He didn't want to go home at the cost of his crew, right? At the cost of his morality. He realized what they did in Troy. He realized what he had done.
Yeah. You know, versus Epic's Odysseus, who everything is about getting home.
I'm fucking getting home.
Yeah, that's
I'm getting home.
How will you sleep at night? Next to my wife. It's like, yeah.
I'm getting home.
And listen, if I'm taking up votes with which, you know, Odysseus I'm finna rock with, I'm probably rocking with the wife guy.
I like Epic's Odysseus because the Odysseus from Nolan's interpretation, while I like the theme better for the whole movie, which is, you know, hey, there is a sense of morality that's really important for civilization, right? And that we have to do things the right way and take care of each other. Otherwise, when you set the example of, like, oh, you can win the war by just defying the gods and sending in, you know, a Trojan horse and taking them all out in the night, that's how you can win the war. Like, the example that sets for civilization is not good. Look at the fear it perpetuated, right? That is a great theme. I really do love that. And that's kind of a recurring theme for, you know, Nolan's movies, is like, you know, civilization ending level ideas and events, right? Like, even in Interstellar, you know, civilization's coming to an end without some human intervention to fix things. Like, I do like that idea. I think that theme is really important. And it's especially important, like, in today's society where it's like, hey guys, you know, these kinds of ideas about morality, where it obviously stems from gods and Nolan's Odyssey, it's like, that morality is intrinsic. It's just about how we take care of each other. That's great. I loved that. And then, yeah, I still end up liking Epic's Odysseus more, though, because he is not such a simple character. Like, the Nolan Odysseus, very simple. It's just a guy. At the end of the day, he's just a good man. He really did want to get all his men home. He didn't want to sacrifice his men just for the sake of himself. He's a good man, but it is very kind of cookie cutter, like, he's just the hero of the story, right? Like, he's just doing everything he can to get home. Woo. Yeah. But he's not a bad guy. Like, he refuses to do it that way. Not like that with Epic. Not like that at all.
I'll become the monster.
Bro literally said, I'm fucking going home. Don't get in my way. I will go through you. I don't give a shit. And I mean, I think that some of the characters in Epic are just a lot stronger, obviously.
You also have more characters to get attached to, like, the physical representation of Poseidon and Hermes and some of them.
Yeah, really.
Where it's just like,
you're just not
one of my big things with why I think the reason I'm not sticking as much to Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey doesn't do it for me like Epic the Musical, because I like the presence of straight up gods. Yeah. I like the Greek gods. I read the Percy Jackson books for a reason. I finished that series and did whatever the following book series was. It was like Heroes of Olympus or whatever it was named. Where it's like, I love those movies for the presence of the gods. I've been watching some of the TV show they have of Percy Jackson now. I haven't gotten into season 2 yet, but like, we literally have, is it Ares who's played by Edge?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Ares who's played by Edge from WWE/AEW.
Yeah.
It's just like, I like their presence. I don't know.
It's cool.
It wouldn't have taken anything out of the movie for me for them to be there, which I know that's kind of Nolan's thing. I think there was a quote from Nolan, not that he had any problem with trying to depict the gods in a realistic way, but I guess it was more of finding out how to. I gotta look back.
I think it's and to kind of elaborate on like a good reason why I guess they shouldn't be there is to like the theme is that you're following Zeus's law without really knowing if you don't know that Zeus is real, right?
That's a bit of a moral to have in there, because you don't know if a person you're acting with is a god in the sky.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to treat everybody as if they were. Exactly, right? That's the idea. So I guess in showing Zeus and giving him a physical form, letting him straight up talk to Odysseus, you'd probably have the problem of it's like, well, like, that defeats the purpose of like there being the argument of like, well, is there really even? Like it's still left up to kind of interpretation.
I've seen some people with the interpretation that there may not be any gods
at all. Yeah, exactly. Some people say the Athena stuff is just like it's just a manifestation of his guilt.
Yeah, right? Which I don't like that.
I don't like that either. I think it's
which is why I hate that that's kind of left open to where some people can interpret it that way. Where it's like, there may not be any god.
But that's
not the fucking point.
Yeah.
That's not the conclusion we should be drawing.
No, I think, again, I like the fictional setting anyway. Like, we have a Cyclops, we have giants. Like, yes, it's fine. There's gods. Like, it's okay to just be heavy-handed with the fact that, yes, there are gods.
You look at the Cyclops and you hit, like, the meat wire. Look at him and tell me there's a god.
Like, bro you have a big-ass Cyclops, eat all our dudes. He calls out to Poseidon, and then we get fucked up the moment we touch the water. I don't, we don't have to dance around it too much. I'm okay with them not being physically shown, but leaving it so open that the interpretation, like you said, can be swung the other way. But it's like, well, maybe they just don't even exist. And it's like, I don't really like that. Like, that wouldn't be fulfilling.
I don't need Poseidon to come up out of the water with a spear in hand.
No.
But there was at least one moment during the big storm scene where there's multiple times I look up at the sky and there's lightning, where I almost wish there had been just a flash of a silhouette in the clouds. You know? It's like, I would have liked that a lot. It would have done a lot for me.
Yeah, I thought a couple times something that would have been cool is like lightning lights up like the background, and maybe you see like a silhouette of like Poseidon on like the water, right? And then maybe something of Zeus up in the sky. But again, I understand maybe not wanting to overreach with that stuff. Me personally, my interpretation is that obviously the gods are there. I think we both share that. I think that one of the greatest scenes in the movie is when they take Troy and they behead the statue of Athena. And for you, I think you said that you kind of think that maybe he sees
the most common interpretation that I've seen that I've kind of also stuck with is that after that and seeing that woman slain in front of him, that Athena shows herself to Odysseus as that woman for the proceedings of the movie.
As a reminder of what he did in Troy. And I'm cool with that perception. I also think it's just important to note that, like, you know, you see her beheaded as they behead the statue of Athena, and it's like, that, I mean, I guess that could be the causation of why that overlaps in his mind. You know, like why the guilt is attributed that way. But I liked Athena. I thought she was great too. Yeah, I mean, overall, really, my biggest thoughts about the Odyssey, just as like a movie of the year and just like a big talking point on the internet, is like, I wish people would talk about the things that are important of this movie, which isn't the fucking clothes that Agamemnon wears. Like, he could have worn a fucking towel. I don't care. Like, we're getting way too into the weeds anymore of just like stupid, petty internet bullshit where people just needlessly farm engagement by like, oh, you know, come on, guys, like, really, we can't put him in period appropriate battle armor and have Odysseus played by a period appropriate. I don't give a shit, dude.
You weren't there. I wasn't there.
Your Honor.
Again.
Respectfully, you weren't there.
So shut the fuck up.
Like, who cares, bro? Like, who cares? So, you know, go see it or don't. I really don't give a fuck. For me, it was awesome. I got to enjoy something I really...
It's awesome because I get to see a cool adaptation of a thing. They didn't Dragon Ball Evolution it.
Nope.
You know? It's a very good movie.
It's good.
Like, I will watch it again when 100%. The opportunity comes along. 100%. There are things I would like to see closer. I'd like to get a better look at.
I want to throw this out there right now. Tom Holland is probably the biggest actor of our generation. Pretty fair to say. Like, he keeps landing shit where it's like, damn, dude. Like, that's pretty crazy. This is the biggest summer of his career for sure, I feel like.
Tom Holland's experience filming the Odyssey has shaped, like, it changed fundamentally how they were filming Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't know if you've seen much of this. But Tom Holland talking about, like, his experience on the Odyssey and seeing how Christopher Nolan makes movies changed so much about how he came to set. Where he comes to set and it's like, guys, like, we, you know... So much that I guess he points out that in Marvel's filming that sometimes they will go out there not knowing 100% what they're going to film, what the scene is going to be. Whenever he comes in after doing stuff with like the Odyssey, it's like, we need to have a plan. I don't want us to go out here and start filming until we have a plan. What is this scene? What does this scene accomplish? And it goes the same way in where he talked about a scene with him and Zendaya filming in Brand New Day where the both of them feel like the dialogue just isn't connecting. They aren't like feeling it. And for them to come back and be like, were you feeling it? It's like, no, I'm kind of feeling this. And they come to the director and it's like, hey, I think we need to rework this. And I think for that reason that Tom Holland is in the Odyssey and has experienced a Christopher Nolan filming process, Brand New Day is going to be way more peak than it would have been without Tom Holland's.
Yeah, he's definitely grown as an actor. And, you know, I think one day probably Tom Holland may even like direct movies. It sounds like he really has like a passion for just like the art behind it. And it's cool to me too, because like one of the things that's really interesting about that is I feel like part of what people forget is like, I don't think every actor pursues acting just to be famous and, you know, make money. I think a lot of them do it from a strong passion for the art. And when you have that matched with just ability and, you know, obviously luck to get that first breakthrough for a lot of people, like Tom Holland, to me, is seemingly one of those people that is like, he landed a huge thing with Spider-Man, and every day since then, he's done more to earn that, you know, and to make the most out of that great, awesome opportunity. Because now, like you said, he learned a lot from the Odyssey, and it's like, well, damn, dude, like, you're just going to take that to Spider-Man. You're going to be a better actor. You're going to lead things better. He's going to take that
experience to everything he does in the future. So I think it's going to make it better for it.
That's cool, dude. Like, it's really cool. So, yeah, man, Tom Holland summer, great Odyssey.
Tom Holland has come a long way from being the kid that couldn't stop spoiling Marvel movies to now being very good at keeping it down, and also just being... I mean, I think he's gonna definitely have some kind of producer role or something else in his future.
He has to. I saw something so cute about him and Zendaya, dude. I thought this was a genuinely adorable. Apparently, like someone took like one of the first posts he made, like with her when they were like co-starring on Homecoming, And it was him just like telling her happy birthday or something, and he said like happy birthday, mate, and then it like cut to him like calling her his wife, like talking about like filming the Odyssey. And I was like, that is so cool, man. Like good for him. Like it seems like he's just learning more, doing cool stuff all the time. Yeah, and I think that with Christopher Nolan, he's a great example of like a director that just like keeps adding more to like the idea of like film being an art again, instead of us just getting like movie after movie after movie of just like random slop. And I think that's what streaming services have incentivized, is just like releasing slop movies straight to streaming and just saying, oh, fuck the theater experience. You know, and it's like, I don't want that. I want theaters to live forever, and I think directors like Christopher Nolan keep them there, and like actors like Tom Holland will always have that.
That's what kills me about the Avatar movie coming up, the new like Airbender Aang movie, just because like it was originally set for a theater release. It gets taken off of that, plan to goes to streaming. You have the leaks, the entire movie gets out.
Crazy.
I kept my hands clean of it. I still haven't seen it. Among all the leaks, never saw that movie because I was trying to hold out hope that they just put it in a damn theater.
Support it.
Because I want to see it in a theater.
And that matters to me.
We know now that it is just going to be on streaming, except for a few select theaters. They're going to show it as like a special thing.
It sucks.
It's like, dude, what I'd give to see that movie in the theater.
Sucks, man. And I don't know. It's just one of those deals now where whenever I think about stuff like that, I'm like, this is why theaters close. Is it's like everybody is just so worried about convenience now. Nobody ever like stops to think about like, well, what about the moment in time you enjoy these things? Like if you showed me Project Hail Mary sitting here on our couch at home, I would have enjoyed the movie. But I know for a fact it would not have been the same as going to see it in that movie theater and having that shit hit me full force right in my face with no expectations, just going to see a movie with my homie.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Sitting in there where it might have only been the two of us in that showing. Just side by side.
I felt like I was flipping over in that bitch. I was like, whoa.
As he's trying to get control of the ship after they enter that atmosphere, and then he just like, boom, against the thing, and the movie goes silent. The theater is silent. They're just spinning out of control through space. You can't do, like, and we're just like sitting there, and I glance over, and your eyes are just like watery, and I see the colors. I see the space colors in your face.
I was like, dude, like you can't get that. Like, and you know, some people that have a fucking really baller ass home theater, maybe, but like,
dude, when I say when I got out of that movie the first time that like Project Hail Mary was a religious experience.
No, it's great. Like, dude. It's great. The Odyssey episode we just glazed Project.
Dude, yeah. I mean, Project Hail Mary is
go check it out.
Good, bro. This much later, it's on streaming now. I saw Shelby watching it yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like of movies, I'm gonna have to get that one on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I got that Marty Supreme one. I'm gonna have to get that on Blu-ray. Yeah. Project Hail Mary as soon as I find it.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap up our thoughts, guys. Just go check out Odyssey yourself. You know, fuck the internet and fuck what stupid people say. I really don't care. I think one of the most annoying things you can do anymore is draw your opinion based on other people's. Have some fucking...
Even ours.
Yeah.
Don't listen to our opinions. Fuck us.
Fuck him. Fuck me. Fuck you. You go watch it yourself, right? Like, who cares? And look, at the end of the day, right? If everybody fucking hates something and you really like it, awesome.
Like Spider-Man 3, I'm a soldier.
Like, dude, like, something really, like, the value of something is entirely up to the person that's, you know, beholding that. Like, if you really enjoy it and no one else does, then it was still worthwhile because you got to enjoy it. Go check out the Odyssey, despite what people may say. You know, you may have friends that love it, hate it. You may see people online love it, hate it. Go find out if you love it or hate it. And then fucking respect Tom Holland's fucking billionaire
summer, baby.
Billionaire box office blowout bash, bitch.
He's about to pull bank this summer.
He's going crazy. He's going crazy. Fucking nuts. And I guess that'll bring us into random ranks.
Random ranks!
So this time we're not spinning the wheel.
Not the traditional style. The wheel isn't being spun this time.
Fuck the wheel.
Fuck the wheel.
Yeah.
We're actually going to do a blind ranking where, in the spirit of the Odyssey and to a lot of people who are going to see this movie have experienced Epic the Musical, we're going to blind rank Epic the Musical songs. Mm-hmm. We're going to take turns. You can list them 1 through 5. Number 1 being the best song, number 5 being the least best song.
Yeah, they're all good.
They're going to be random, the ones that we get. I'm going to give Gary 5 songs. He's going to give me 5 songs.
Yes, right.
We're going to blind rank Epic.
Yeah. And so what I was confused about here, because I just want to, somehow that confused me when he explained it. I'm not giving him 5 random, so I'm not going to the list and randomizing and giving him 5. I get to pick the songs he ranks. He gets to pick the songs I rank. So we can kind of be a little fiendish with like what we may include in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited. All right, wait. Do you want to do a live rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first or second?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
All right. Is this for first?
Whoever wins goes first. And
okay.
Best, just one. Fuck it.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I was about to say, if we went back to back to back, I was going to be like, what the fuck? You won. You won. You're ranking first.
Let's get into it.
All right, guys. So we're going to get into it. Bryce is going first. He's ranking. I've picked the songs. So we're blind ranking Epic the Musical songs. Bryce, are you ready?
Yes.
1 through 5.
Yes.
Here we go. We're going to start with... Do you want me to say the name of it?
Nah, you can just start to play it.
Okay.
Remember them.
Fuck. This is hard. This is like such one I don't think about that often. I am the infamous!
I know. Just the end of the song.
Okay, for safety, I'm putting it at 3. 3.
This one's definitely up there for me.
Oh, Storm is hard, man.
Storm is up there for
I'm trying
me.
to remember, Poseidon doesn't show up yet here, does he?
No.
Storm is good. I don't think I like it as much as Remember Them, actually. I'm gonna be bold and put this at 5. I think there could be some certified bangers up ahead.
Wouldn't you like
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you probably feel good that you didn't put Storm up there.
Yeah. This is hard. This is 1 or 2 for sure.
This is one of the first songs you should.
I'm gonna take a huge chance and put this at 2.
Okay. It's going at 2. 2, Wouldn't You Like? 3, Remember Them. And then you have 5 as Storm.
So I have 1 and 4 left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is how they hold us.
That's a solid 4. It's a solid 4 for me.
Hold them down.
Yeah, I'd be out here like Odysseus where I'm just like, dude, fuck Anthony. I don't even like hearing him sing. I don't even like him. So, fuck.
Okay.
That means the last one has to go number 1. Shit.
You ready?
Yeah.
I see a song.
Yes!
That's my number 1! That is my number 1 in all of Epic.
I know you like that song.
Oh,
I had to include that in 5. Yeah, that you showed me Wouldn't You Like, and you showed me this song.
Dude, the prophecy. I got a thing for prophecies, bro.
Yeah.
Whether it's like Savitar's prophecy in the Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, this song is probably top 3 for me, too.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
really
solid,
good.
Dude,
I'm actually pretty happy with my ranking.
No, yeah.
I think that so
you know what's crazy?
Back to me.
If I ranked your list, 1, No Longer You, 2, Wouldn't You Like, 3, Remember Them, 4, Hold Them Down, 5, Storm. The only thing I would change is I would put Storm above Hold Them Down.
Yeah, you like Storm a good bit more.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm actually so happy with how that turned out. That's just my actual order.
That's good. All right.
And now
we're going to
Gary.
We're going to me.
Blind ranking Epic. Gary's turn.
Yeah.
Ranking 1 through 5.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like this is going to be a lot of editing for you.
It'll be cool, though.
It would be cool. Damn, that's tough. I'm starting with a banger.
Yeah. Thunderbringer's good, man.
I'm going to put it at 4.
4. Thunderbringer at 4.
Because I think you started with this one purposefully to throw me off. I'm not going to lie. I think you put a couple bangers in there that I would absolutely put over this. That's why I feel that way.
All right.
But I also know that you put I guarantee you put one in here that I don't really like too.
600 strikes.
Yeah, this is one.
600 Strike going number 1.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite song.
Bold ranking for a number 2. 600 Strike, number 1. It is really good.
Yeah,
it is really good.
This is one of the peak songs.
Number 3.
But when
I like this song a lot because it really speaks like to Odysseus. It's like character.
It was kind of the song for Epic for a while. I mean, it's still now. It's kind of the theme, Just a Man.
I feel comfortable with this at 3.
At 3 above Thunderbringer?
Yeah. I feel like I feel like one of the next 2 could be something over this, but I definitely couldn't put this below Thunderbringer.
4.
You've made your one now you're done for.
You know what's crazy is I'm gonna put this at 5.
Put it at 5, damn. This was my first Epic song. This is how I found it.
Wait, no.
Let me skip around.
Let me think about it. I do like this song, but I feel like you got a banger queued up. No, I'm putting it at 2. I can't put it below Thunderbringer. I love this song. Because I like this more than Just a Man. I like this more than Thunderbringer.
Number 1, 600 Strike. Number 2, Done For. Number 3, Just a Man. Number 4, Thunderbringer.
Actually, that's literally how I would rank all those.
Meaning that this next one has to go at the bottom of the list. Number 5.
Oh, thank God. Actually, this is not one of my favorites. Legend, it's fine. It's just like...
Legendary is fun. I wasn't as big on it the first time around.
Yeah,
but I just grow on it because of Telemachus.
Exactly.
But honestly, like the
it's very Disney.
Telemachus' is second best song.
Yeah.
Behind Little Wolf.
Like this sound.
Like Little Wolf is a banger.
Yeah, that's way better. And this to me is very Disney. This is the most Disney Epic ever gets. Yeah. Like this one is literally
legendary.
Yeah, and it's just this one is young man coming of age, like kind of So. Yeah, no, that is it. That my 5 ended up just like yours. It's probably literally exactly how I would have ranked those songs.
Yeah.
The moment you gave me 600 Strike, I knew that had to be my number 1. Every time I hear that song, I think that song has the best music of any of the songs in Epic. You can feel the fight happening in the music.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, 600 Strike, I mean, that also has, like, kind of their final confrontation with him, like, stabbing him. And then, how will you sleep at night?
That's still my wife.
Yeah.
Dude, he killed it. Also, Poseidon's great. Like, all of Poseidon's...
There's a song I need to show you. Poseidon and Hermes voice actors made this song that Shelby showed me. They made this one song together. It's so good. It's
really?
So good. Yeah, I gotta go find it.
Just like as like an offshoot thing?
Yeah, it's just like completely their own thing, not like lore related whatsoever.
That's cool as hell. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, so there you go. There you guys have it. We blind ranked some epic songs.
Random ranked epic songs.
We talked about it with Odyssey. You gotta go see Odyssey. But you should also check out Epic. Please go check it out on YouTube. There's a bunch of cool animations. It's fucking awesome. It's probably
It's epic.
It's destroyed my Spotify like my Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah, I can't wait till next Spotify
was all because it was last year. I know it was last year now because it destroyed my Spotify Wrapped from last year, and it's gonna get this one this year too. I guarantee it. But that's pretty much it for the episode, guys. I mean, we've hit all the big notes. I do want to briefly talk about because we didn't do it at the top of the episode. We always start with life stuff. Somehow it didn't hit. We're about to go on vacation. I'm about to go on vacation. Bryce
I'll be here.
Bryce is being here.
I'm going to try to get this episode up like Friday, Saturday-ish time. Don't know if next week gets an episode, but next week we're watching Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah, we're going to Spider-Man.
We're going to try to get an episode up
ASAP
after seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Going to Spider-Man, seeing that with some of our favorite people, some of our coworkers. So shout out to them. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to do that as soon as I get home from my vacation, which will be like a nice little final thing to do right before I go back into the workflow. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this far into the episode. Hey, if you saw Odyssey, I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, you're going to go see it. I hope you enjoy it. Check out Epic. And yeah, this has been the One Too Many podcast.
We had one too many voices, one too many opinions,
one too many men.
Men.
And we're going to go for one too many episodes.